Hello, how's it going? Thank you for joining. If you are joining from Instagram, I want to thank you. Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much. Chatmosphere, who's here? Let's see. Karen Scott, thank you so much. Karen, I appreciate you. How's it going up there in the New York cities? I hear that Mayor Mamdani is trying to get rid of all the rich people. And he's a rich people. Destiny Rose, oh my goodness, you're treating me again to your presence. Thank you. Destiny says, good evening, Chatmosphere family. Good evening to you. What are you cooking? Because I was just eating. Does anybody know about the brisket sandwiches from Buc-ee's? Oh my God. My youngest brother, he bought us some, just dropped in with these yummy sandwiches from Buc-ee's. And I love horseradish. Who likes horseradish? Who likes to, it's like I torture myself with the horseradish. I love it. But I hope that I'm not going to be draining. Okay. That's so gross. Right. I don't want to talk like that while you're making dinner. Okay. Destiny Rose says that you're in the midst of cooking a homemade, oh, look at that. Cassava tortillas. Healthy. Some guacamole and some chicken. Okay, tonight. So you'll be booping in and out. Good. I want this to be where you can have it in the background. You can just listen, okay? So yes, keep us on, okay? We're live. The signal is live. And it sounds good. My volume and everything is good. Hi Beth. How's it going, Beth? Beth knows that I'm quirky. She appreciates my quirkiness. Thank you, Beth. Beth and we probably passed each other somewhere back in the 70s and 80s, right? When my dad lived in Atlanta, he lived in Virginia Highlands, which was it's still nice, but it was so nice back then. It sounds good. How's this sound? Molly Moose is here. Hey, Molly, welcome. I'm so glad to see you. You're making fish. What is it? Oh, it's Taco Thursday. Is it Taco Thursday? Everybody's making tacos? Oh my goodness. You like horseradish? Good. It's good for you, isn't it? It's like the wasabi. You make a horseradish sauce for your steaks? Oh, nice. Tell us drop the recipe, Beth, because I have a little container of it. I don't remember the brand, but I always look at ingredients and I'm not very happy with the ingredient profile of the horseradish that I buy at the supermarket. I would like to have a more simplified one with 2 or 3 ingredients. Is that too much to ask? They have to put all the stabilizers and all that crap in it. But yeah, I kind of, I just wanted some. It was such a good thing to put on. I only ate half of my Buc-ee's brisket sandwich. It is good. Okay, good. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate it. Yes, fresh horseradish. So what do you do? What is the basis of horseradish? You would think I would know, but I don't even know. What are you grating something? Is it a horseradish root or something? What is the basis of horseradish? Because I don't really know. Is it a radish? It's not a horse. It's a radish. Tell me. Okay, share the recipe. How you make it's a root. Okay, it's a root, and it's called horseradish root. Tell me more. Tell me more. Yes, Buc-ee's brisket. Who knows about Buc-ee's brisket? They are so good. Brisket sandwiches. It's like the ones in Texas almost. Texas has the best brisket. I don't care if you want to argue with me. I think they have the best brisket. I've done some nursing travel assignments in Amarillo. The best barbecue, everything. They know how to do the meats in Texas. Yes, they do. Let's see. Oh, Beth is sharing. Don't mind us, okay? We do a little. It's relax, everybody. This is not real, you know, organized. No, it's organized, but it's not just, we're relaxing. You say, first of all, I make my own mayonnaise. Well, good for you. You're like Martha Stewart of the Chatmosphere. You make your own mayonnaise. I think I tried that once. Okay, so then you add horseradish to your mayonnaise, a little bit of Worcestershire. I can never say that word. Worcestershire, good thing to put only half of your sandwich is good. It's a good salt and pepper. Okay, so you add, okay, sounds good. I love it. It sounds great. I may try to make my own horseradish sauce. I guess I have to figure out this whole thing of where do I get the root. All right, so we're not going to labor this whole horseradish thing, but I'll catch up with the recipes. Again, thank you. We are rewinding culture, and if you've been with us since the beginning, we're doing 60 years of a rewind, a retrospective. And I'm going to tell you, this has been more helpful to me than I expected in terms of understanding what has happened to us. How did we get here? Because it looks different from a retrospective view. Hey, Raylene, hello. Glad you're here. Welcome. Yes, when you look at things in retrospect, it really helps you. And while you're in it, you're too busy to realize what is going on. And I'm looking forward. I told you, stick with me, because when we get to about, I'm thinking 2016, that's when we get into the good stuff. When I say good stuff, this is when a lot of us started paying attention to the, here it goes, the horseradish. Everybody is starting to make my nose run. You have to excuse me. I should have known this would happen. Bear with me a moment. Okay. It's the horseradish. I remember going to eat sushi. I don't eat sushi anymore. I'm parasite free. I have cleansed myself. I do not eat sushi anymore. But when I did eat sushi and the wasabi, I would eat I loved it with the soy. I'd make such a mess of it, but I mean, soy in it, and just slathering my rolls, and I'm in a restaurant and my nose is just, you can't do it. You have to have lots of tissues and napkins. It cleanses you. So it's pretty good. But okay, all right, we're back to the retrospective of it all. So we're looking at the year 2009. And like I said, when we start getting closer to 2000, I'm thinking 16. Okay, what do you think? That's when a lot of us started to look at I'm going to call it what do they call it? The not drops. We'll say drops, or when we were paying attention to the back channels. It's a lot of terms for it. The back channels, the drops, the blind items, because now for some reason, blind items are now taken very serious when they talk about celebrity, the whole like celebrity culture, which is dead now. But when people share the celebrity blind items, for some reason, they seem to be more legitimate sounding. But when we wanted to get into blind items, for some reason, we're called conspiracy people, conspiracy theorists, right? Hey, the guru, welcome. Peace and love to all. Let's welcome the guru. All right, so let's see. Molly is saying, hey, the guru. So, okay, now we're going to get into this. And like I said, stick with me. We're at 2009 right now. Do you remember what you were doing 2009? What were you up to? I'm trying to think. Where was I? It'll probably all come to me. I think, I was probably, I'll think about it. Nursing does that to you, especially if you've done a little travel nursing. Time becomes compressed and all kinds of things. But I'll remember as we go through. Where was I exactly? If you remember where you were, let me know. What were you doing in 2009? Do you remember? Do you remember what you ate? Are you that kind of person who would have a good alibi? You would remember all of these things. But yeah, again, let's see. Destiny Rose is saying definitely was 2016 for me. I woke up one day and said, hey, what's going on around here? And that's not right. There you are. Oh no, Molly. Okay, so there you are. She lost her house in 2009. You weren't the only one, Molly Moose. A lot of people lost their homes in 2009. We had the housing crisis. So let's get into. I'm sorry you lost your home. I hope you were able to recover, but definitely a lot of people have that same story. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the year 2009 as we continue. And we're gonna when we get to the good years, like I said, 2016, when we had the WikiLeaks, wasn't that around WikiLeaks and Hillary Clinton? Do you know, when it comes to this retrospective, I'm gonna tell you, I look on X, right? And I see that the whole Wiener laptop thing is being heated up again. So it's interesting because the whole thing really started around 2016 when we heard names like Frazzle Drip and things like that. And I won't get into that now, but I'm telling you, I want you to stay tuned when we get to those parts of this retrospective, because it looks like it's going to converge in a way, because if they're talking about the Wiener laptop right now, and I mean, it's interesting. If you're on X, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let me get myself down to a reasonable size here, and let's get through this stuff. As you can see, the characters on the stage right now, we have a few. If you can recognize them, I'm sure you do recognize probably all of them. And yeah, let's see what's up. All right, so we're going to start off with talking about this right here. Grindr began in 2009. Don't tell me if you have a profile on Grindr. I don't want to know. Okay, this is a no tell. What is it? No, whatever. What is that army thing that they said? No something, no tell. But Grindr, I used to hear people that I worked with, like some of the nurses or something, talking about Grindr profiles, but I don't know if it's even still around. But Grindr began in this year. And when I say degenerate, oh boy, very degenerate. So we are now into the year where President Obama's administration, inaugurated. So we're going through the Obama years right now. We just left, of course, the Bush years, and now we're seeing Eric Holder, who they say was the very first Black or African American. What was he? DOJ, right? So yes. Wow, I'm thinking of some of the terms like fast and furious and things like that. But we have also RuPaul kicked off the RuPaul Drag Race that began. And this young guy in the picture, I've forgotten. I prepared these slides a while ago, and I'm telling you, I forgot who this little guy is right here. But I think he's from, where is he from? Does anybody know the white guy with the cute little flipped hair right there? Is he from, I think it's from that show. That show, did you watch it? It's called, what was that show called? Glee, right? Glee? Yes, I think this is the guy from Glee. I don't know his name. Let me look it up, because, I want to be correct here, but I think this is the guy from Glee. As you can see, this is a gleeful time here in America. Gleeful for, maybe people that like to find each other on Grindr. So let's see, Glee, the show, and 2009. Let's see what they're saying about. Does anybody know this guy? IG Roller Disco. Welcome. What's up, Jen? What's up, mi hermana and the Chatmosphere family? Thank you for coming by. Oh, do you think I'm correct? Hey, Corinne. I think you're correct. Glee. Yes. Okay. So let me look up the characters because you may remember this guy. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think it is this. Yeah. Okay. So the characters from Glee, let's see, what would his name be? Because this is where we see that there's definitely a lot of things going on during the Obama years. Hey, Destiny Rose says, there you go. That was a lot to do with me saying or asking what is going on, trying to find answers, but already experiencing friends, yes, telling me, what are you talking about? What Pizzagate? Yes, Pizzagate. If you were early to that timeline, you were probably called a lot of things. And now you can look at X and you can look at TikTok. I call them the TikTok prophets and the TikTok truthers. They're talking about this stuff like it's just regular now. But yeah, if you were too early, unfortunately, you probably lost a lot of friends and things like that. So let's see. Is it Will Schuster? No, that's not him. Let's see. Who would he be? Does anybody know this guy's name? It's a lot of people from this show. Let's see if this will tell me. Can't see it from here. Anyway, he's from Glee. Maybe somebody will figure it out. I don't know his name right now. But yes, let's see what else is. I love a woman, but don't identify as anything other than a living soul. Okay, well, there you go. Hey, peeps, happy to be here. Hey, Gracie. Yes, well, see, the thing about the Obama years, a lot of people are critical, as you've probably heard, that he was supposed to be the very first. He is truly African American, but he was to be the first Black American president, which we know he wasn't. If you look at some of the things, we don't want to get into the Melungeons and the mixtures. Hoover, no, is it Hoover? Who was really, passing. We have a few presidents that were passing, by the way. I hope that doesn't upset your dreams. But yeah, a few of them were passing. I don't know about Lincoln. He looks a little bit copper colored. I don't know. In the pictures, he's kind of ruddy, and I'm just saying, okay? You know what I'm saying? Okay. And we had presidents before George Washington also. We're not going to get into that at the moment. But yes, Gracie, four shots. I love that. Gracie, 4 shots. Is that you take 4 shots? I don't know. Hey, peeps. I'm happy you're here, Gracie. Thank you. Yeah. So what I was saying is, for Obama to be the very first Black president, people expected him to do something for Black people. I know he's not the president of just Black people and all of those things that they say, but it's okay to do things for the LGBTQ. It's okay to do things, to do a hate crime bill for the Asian Americans. It's okay to do something for everybody except for the Black Americans who have been here before the country was even incorporated. So that's all people are saying. When they look back at his record, he did not do anything for Black people. So he was a symbolic, thing. I don't know what he did. If anybody can let me know what he did special for Black people, I'll wait, okay? Other than make you feel good, right? To see him and Michelle and the dogs and the children, it was all symbolic, okay? A lot of times Black people vote and they're not asking for anything in return. They are just basically happy to see a black face in the place, okay? But to not get anything in exchange for your vote is really, it's I would say kind of plantation-ish. They like to call everybody else being on a plantation, but that's really plantation behavior, in my opinion, right? So copper penny, that's right, copper. I'm a copper colored American, and yeah, so uh, this presidency, when I look at it in retrospective, it's just symbolic. But he did a lot. If you are part of the LGBTQ, he did a lot for you. Okay, let's be honest. He did a lot for your people. So yeah, that's he will go down in history as having done a lot. But okay, we have RuPaul, like I said, the drag race started then. Interesting, isn't it? So next we have a president who has received a Nobel Peace Prize. That was interesting. I do remember that. You know what? I think I was in Los Angeles, actually. I was working at Cedar Sinai around this time, possibly. But yeah, bombs over Baghdad. We had bombs over Baghdad. Look at that. And at the same time, this man has received a Nobel Peace Prize, and he bombed a lot of brown people. He dropped a lot of bombs. I'm just saying, if we're going to be fair about the bombings, he did a lot of bombing. Oh my goodness. But he received a Nobel Peace Prize. A lot of people found that to be extremely interesting. And if we look at this year, a lot of times I know people are afraid of a reset, but we've had several resets. So calm down, everybody. Okay. If I could borrow a term from the late what's her name? Joan Rivers. Calm down, everybody. Okay. What did Joan Rivers say? Calm down. We've had our gay president. So what are you talking about? Okay. So, and she's not here anymore. That's a coinky dink, but we won't get into that at the moment. Here is the 2009 Great Reset. Yes, it was the year of economic and societal transformation. We had economic fracture, the four pillars of a global collapse, because this is globally. We have loose monetary policy, global imbalances, trade imbalances, risk misperception, and lax regulation. So we have 5.8% of the labor force was involuntarily working part-time for economic reasons. And we have the gig economy rising. That's when you're going to start seeing Uber. I don't know what year that started, but maybe it's coming close. So we have fear of a jobless recovery. Low levels of temporary layoffs suggested employers would tap existing staff before hiring new workers. So if you were doing the work of two people and being paid for one, that will explain that. And we also have the US smartphone market share. You can see what's happening there. And I find this to be interesting that they correlate narcissistic personality index trending up since the smartphone. What do you think about that? Narcissistic personality index is trending upward with the launch of the smartphone. And we know how far we are along on that path. Okay, you could just look to Coachella 2026. All right, so we have societal technological pivot happening, the deflation of American narcissism. Okay, that's interesting. The deflation of American narcissism. Is that because we were humbled somehow? I don't know. Let me know what you think. The structural Great Reset happened. So we had a crisis catalyzed a shift from home ownership and cars toward urban flexibility and renting. As you can see, this is part of like what Molly said. A lot of people, they lost their homes. So let's see, what else are they saying? The year of the smartphone is being called 17%. The smartphone penetrated a reach of 17%, continuing to grow despite the broader economic contraction. So that's something. What are you saying? Jen, have you read Guy Anderson's book, Tesla and the Cabbage Patch Babies? No. It's so interesting. Loss of info on past resets. That sounds interesting, Gracie for Shots. I haven't heard of that book, but it sounds like something I would like to read. All right, this is the year that we lost Michael Jackson. No, I was in Philadelphia. I wasn't yet in LA yet, but I was in Philadelphia around this time because I'll never forget. I went to the. Do you remember where you were when you learned about Michael Jackson's death? Because I remember this. You know how the older people talk about, I remember where I was, what I was doing when I heard about JFK being assassinated. I remember I was at the H Mart on Shelton. No, is it Shelton? No, where is that? Hey, the guru, tell me, what was that street where the H Mart was? Tell me. I forgot. All right, so I was at an H Mart. If anybody knows what that is, that's a big Korean super complex market. And the one that I was at, it had layers, 3 levels. I loved going there. So you have grocery. They had really cute clothing that I would buy a lot of clothing from. Yes, little tops, if you like tops, really cute tops. Oh, Cheltenham. Okay, I was at the H Mart on Cheltenham Avenue. Yes, you remember, right? Okay, so I was working at Friends Hospital, and what was it? Were you? Oh no, it was one of my coworkers hit me up on the phone, on the smartphone. Look at that. So she texted me, Michael Jackson died. He had a heart attack, and I'm in the H Mart. I get this message like, what? Because I think I was in the parking lot when I got the message. And let me tell you how funny it's not funny. What am I saying? Let me change my words. I didn't believe her. I was too stunned. This is unbelievable to me. So I didn't know what to do. I think I called you, the guru. I think I tried to call you, and you were like, what? Nobody knew if this was true. Do you remember that day? And I'm at a Korean market. Okay, remember this detail, the H Mart. I was not looking at a Korean to tell me to confirm this story. I'm looking for other Black people. I'm not even kidding. I saw some Black people pass by, and we have a thing, okay? Black people, it's like we know each other and we don't know each other. It's something about us. And I've had a white friend even ask me, she was like, do you know all these people whenever we would hang out? She's like, you guys look at each other a certain way, act like you know. I can't explain it. We do know each other. Okay. If you are a foundational Black American, we know each other. Okay. And so I'm looking at the other foundational Black Americans like, yo, it's like we didn't even have to say anything. It was look, no words were needed, but I looked with a certain look. I said, is it true? I'm not kidding. And they said, I don't know. So we were both like, I don't know. I said, I just got a text. One of my coworkers tells me that Michael Jackson is dead. He had a heart attack. And they were like, yeah, we heard something too. But we just did not know if it was true. Because, initially when the news first narrative comes out, the narrative was something like he had a heart attack, but he was in at Cedars-Sinai probably, but not dead. And then it got confirmed that he was dead. But Molly says he's not dead. But he's not dead, Molly says. Okay, Molly, I'm with you. Gracie says the parasites murdered him. He knew too much and wasn't cooperating with the system. There you are. So we have people that say he's not dead. IG Roller Coaster says somehow I still believe he's alive and helping behind the scenes. So you're going to have a mixed bag of people that don't believe he's dead. Okay. So I've seen some interesting things about, people leaving out, or gurneys leaving out, weird entrances and exits and stuff like that. But one thing I find very suspicious, I'll say, is that Michael Jackson's funeral was held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And I have been asking people, and nobody has told me what they think about that, because I've found this to be fascinating for a long time. So I believe he was the first funeral. Yes. So was he the very first person to ever be like memorialized at the Staples Center? I wonder. I'm going to look it up in a minute. But to have his memorial at the Staples Center, do you realize this is something really interesting? So you can see here 2.5 billion people viewed this memorial service. So listen, this is pretty amazing. Hey, Kathy, Sky Song, I love the name. They never die, Jenny. They change roles. There you are. All right. That's what a lot of people think. Okay, so think about the number 2.5 billion viewing a memorial. It's interesting that the Rolling Stone cover says hope and ruin. And, we're in the era of the hope and change for Obama. And just think about the convergence of these details. You have Obama, the very first Black president, coming onto the scene, and you have the king of pop, whatever you want to listen, Michael Jackson. I'm not going to argue with you. If you want to think of somebody else, Elvis or Beyonce, we're not going to fight, okay? But, okay, he is exiting the world stage as Obama is entering. I find that fascinating. And also, back to the Staples Center, is that Michael Jackson, as far as I can remember, was the very first person memorialized at the Staples Center. The second would be Kobe Bryant. And the third is Nipsey Hussle. So we have three men that had memorial services at the Staples Center. What's up with that? I'm just asking. What's up with that, y'all? All melanated men being funeralized at the Staples Center. Oh, eavesdropper, welcome. Hey, Jenny, I'm confused. What's up with Ronald Reagan? That's an inside joke. I'm confused with you. All right, so I'm just saying something is going on, and I'm not sure. So again, we see the mood is compulsory. They say optimism. And the main players, we see the Obama administration, hope and change aesthetic, system plumbing intact. We have tech giants, quiet expansion. Google, Facebook are moving in. And then you have a stimulus package. You have Michael Jackson's death, which is the end of they're saying in this infographic that the death of Michael Jackson is also the end of the monoculture. We also have swine flu. I'll get to that. We have the public was told that we're on to a recovery, but yeah, the structural reality of it all. The iPhone 3Gs are normalized. You can see how the public is now very captured by their smartphones. The attention economy is now exploding. Data takeover beginning, culture and pop signals. We have Lady Gaga and hyper processed escapism, and it's like a denial. Youth and disillusionment, the class of good luck with that, and hustle culture was birthed. I cannot stand hustle culture. It really gets on my nerves. But we have the birth of hustle culture, And basically, it's a lot going on, right? The gig economy I mentioned, institutional distrust is growing. Social media is beginning to dominate, and personal brands, people becoming brands. And we see how far that has come along. So now we're into another pandemic. Yes, I'm calling it pandemic because we now have more information, don't we? Swine flu, look at that. Swine flu. Do you remember they were doing the whole scare tactic, but they didn't roll out the whole dystopian scare thing with it? It might have been a warm up exercise, but you can see Obama rolling up his sleeve, getting a swine flu vaccine. Do you think he really got a real vaccine, or could it have been maybe saline? I don't know. I've been, maybe in the nursing profession a little bit, and yes, maybe possibly could have just been something like that. So here we are. You see the BlackBerry, and then the smartphone. I know there was a big deal with the BlackBerry. Obama and Hillary wanted to hold on to their BlackBerries, and we know why now. Yep. So from cool gadget to survival hardware, this is the evolution of the smartphone. So we see that, some people prefer to keep their BlackBerry, but this was sort of a tipping point. And let's see. Universal device access led to a measurable decline in youth happiness and self-esteem, and the constant unflattering upward social comparison. So that's why we have right now a lot of young people are being put into class action lawsuits because they lived through, unfortunately, these times where when they were at their most impressionable, this is happening to them, the comparison culture, and just identity collapse. So the long-term use of the smartphone has evolved beyond a communication tool into a mandatory digital identity required for social and economic survival in a modern society. What do you think about that? So in terms of what Hollywood was pushing out to the culture, we have Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. I find that interesting that they titled it Revenge of the Fallen. When I hear fallen, I think of the Nephilim. I go back to the book of Enoch when, the Nephilim. I now understand what demons are, where they came from, where they are right now, what their whole zhuzh is. And the way I see it from what I read in the book of Enoch is that they were the children, offspring of the daughters of men and the watchers that came down from heaven to watch, and they touched down on Mount Hermon. It was about 200 of them, I believe. Correct me, or maybe I'll go to my book of Enoch here. But they touched down, and they were supposed to just watch, just as the name says, watch us. But they wanted to have freak offs with the ladies. So they're having freak offs with the ladies. They left their estate that they were supposed to be within a certain boundary that the Most High Yah Shirah told them, look, you are not supposed to mix and mingle your DNA with humans. So they did, and they made an oath. Remember, they took an oath, and they bound themselves in this oath. And we can think of who was the main one. I forget his name right now. I need to go back and read the book of Enoch again. So we have the main one who cooked up the idea, and the other angel watchers went along with it because of the oath. And so they had the offspring, which are called Nephilim, and the word Nephilim means fallen. And when they lived, they were famous. Interesting, right? Famous. They were the men of renown. And when they died, they did not get rest. That is why we have the issues today. They are between and betwixt two realms. They cannot go to Azazel. There you go. I knew somebody would know. There you are, my people. Azazel. Yes, he was the one that cooked it up, didn't he? So they, the offspring of the of the angels and men, the Nephilim, the giants. You know, you think of all of the tribes of giants. When they died, again, they did not go to a place of rest. So that's why they roam this realm, and it's a dry thing for them. They want to get bodied. If I could borrow the term from Beyonce, they want to get bodied, and they want to get inside a body. So there is a revenge element to it, because they are very unhappy that the Most High Yah did not accept their plea for forgiveness. Of course, you remember that Enoch was the one that they asked and begged him to go ask the Most High Yah, could they be let out of this consequence that they had to live with? And the answer that came back through Enoch was, it's a no. It's going to be a no, dog. Okay. Yeah. So they are forever damned. And that's why Revenge of the Fallen sounds the way that it does, because yes, they are getting revenge on mankind. So we have also the Great Reset, America's digital transition. Do you remember when they were giving people vouchers to leave the one television technology for the new digital television? How did you feel about it? Did you take the coupon and get yourself into the digital TV, or did you wait? Did you wait it out for a long time? So pre-June, the analog signal, that was, I guess, the end of the analog signal to go to a digital, I guess, smart television. So Obama was building digital lines for commerce. He pledged to build the digital lines that feed commerce and modernize infrastructure. So he was doing a lot of talk about change. It was no joke. The changes that happened, I think a lot of us were too busy and we just didn't realize. Oh yeah, that's the other one. Molly knows these watchers, right? Samjaza was another. Yeah. I love the Book of Enoch. I have to read it again. Okay, so we had economic crisis sparking a fundamental shift from manufacturing economy to service and innovation. And that was a $40 coupon to help citizens purchase a digital to analog converter box. Do you all remember those converter boxes? And yeah, June 12th was the analog cutoff, the final deadline for full power television stations to cease analog broadcasting in the US. So a clearing of the airwaves. Public safety, let's see, what are they saying? Free up. They claim that they were freeing up broadband service. Interesting. It's a lot going on. Like I said, these retrospectives help me to see. Now, did you know this, everyone? Listen to this. So we have Mr. Now we know he was a big faker, right? This guy right here, who they told us was so smart. Oh my God, he's so smart. And he wasn't so smart. When you listen to some of the things that he said while he was here, you know, they were asking him things like, you know, the existence of God and different things. And his ultimate answers are, he doesn't know. Everybody thinks this guy is so smart. But he did this thing, okay, wait a minute, where he wrote about time travel. Did anybody know this? What are you saying, Gracie? The digital TVs can spy on us, so it was important for us all to have them for them to serve. Yeah, that is 24/7. In fact, Jill Scott had a song. What year? I think she had a song the same year. And this is when the Black Lily did it start up around this time? Hey, the guru knows he's really plugged into the Philadelphia music scene. Was this the first year of the Black Lily? Let me know, the guru. But I want to look up this guy, the travel. Okay, I'm gonna find out what this was because it was very interesting. The time travel thing. It was like a thought experiment or something. Um, but I'm going to get, yeah. And yeah, Hawkins, he was on Epstein Island, by the way. Really gross when yeah, ick. I don't even want to think about it. It was so icky when I saw him from those pictures on Epstein. Gross beyond gross. Okay, let me find out what this time travel thing is. Yeah, you remember, I remember now you were helping to clear the cobwebs. That's what I'm hoping to do because this is what it's doing for me, Destiny Rose. It is clearing the cobwebs of my memory. And now I'm putting dots together. I'm seeing patterns that I, of course, could not have seen at the time. Okay, so this is what's going on here. Stephen Hawking, the British astrophysicist, makes him sound so smart, right? He hosted a party. Wow. He hosted a party for time travelers, okay, at the University of Cambridge. The physicists arranged for balloons, champagne, and nibbles. I hate to know what the nibbles are now that we know more about Hawkins and the Epstein people. Nibbles for his guests. And but did not send out the invitations. Oh gosh. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You guys have to listen to this. Let me read it again. Okay. The physicist arranged for balloons, champagne, and nibbles for his guests, but did not send out the invitations until the following day after the party was over. Is that weird? What? Uh, I'm just saying, how weird. Okay. For time travelers, he regarded the event as experimental evidence that time travel is not possible. Weird. Okay. So there you are, a party for time travelers by this guy, Stephen Hawking, and he doesn't send the invitations out until the next day after the party. Okay. Makes a lot of sense. I don't want to look into it too much. It's gross. Okay, so we also have in this year, the singer Kesha was a big deal. Do you remember Kesha? I didn't really know her music, but I know she had a producer named Dr. Luke, and he's a problem, right? He turned out to be problematic. So Kesha was big in this year. And also Lady Gaga, she was really big and influencing a lot of people. I remember a lot of young people were obsessed with her this particular year. And I'm looking at this headdress here. It's giving me Saturn. Is it giving you Saturn? But that's what it's giving me. And we know that this group, they have a penchant for the planet, as they call it, a planet, Saturn. Let's see. Gracie says they can put any disabled person in a chair and make him be whoever they want him to be. He couldn't talk, so it's like he was a puppet for them. Yeah, literally, right? Damn Hawkins, He's one of them. Yes, he's in the files. He was in the files. I'm telling you. So we have Lady Gaga, and just take this in. She's standing behind living presidents, and she has white on as they have dark suits. But it's a very strange positioning, I'll say. When I first saw this image, it spoke a lot in terms of who she is in the scheme of things. Who she or he is, as Molly Muth is reminded, or IG Roller, just sorry. Okay, here we go. Yeah, yeah. Nothing to see, right? Nothing to see here. You're just being a conspiracy theorist, and stop it, okay? You're not supposed to notice these things. So this is the year that, yeah, Tiger Woods, he was having some issues. He started having issues, and I think this is when he retired from golf. And then this is the year, ironically, that Jamie Foxx and T-Pain had blame it on the alcohol, blame it on the alcohol, right? Blame it on the alcohol. Don't you find it ironic that, yeah, Tiger Woods is still at it? And if you looked at the memes of his latest, his latest foray into driving under the influence of something, I don't know, it doesn't have to be alcohol, but it's something. I think he had a pill or something, right? I don't know what he was popping, but this guy should never be behind a wheel again. And he must have some powerful prayer over his life, because the way he flips over cars and all this kind of stuff, unreal, allegedly. But yes, I never thought we would see Tiger Woods in this condition, but there you are. Blame it on the alcohol or the pills. And this is the year that we have Chris Brown allegedly, do we have to say allegedly? He did this to Rihanna. So Chris Brown and Rihanna were an item back then, and something went down at a party. I don't know if it was a Diddy party. It was some kind of party, and he wanted to park his fist into her face a few times, it looks like. I don't know what was going on, but I think it was in a car. But he has not been able to shake this domestic violence incident too much. I think it follows him, and it affects his bag. But it seems like he does have fans still, and he can perform in some, way. I think Chris Brown might be doing a show coming up, because everybody's coming out of the woodworks now. All the people from this era, the 90s, they're all on stages. Have you seen what is it? Boys, not Boys to Men, but it's a lot of bad stuff with Wanye and Brandy, and it's just so much mess. But I'm talking about New Edition. Wherever our sister is, the Bostonians, right? Girl Code knows them, but we have concerts going on with New Edition, and Bobby Brown is he had to sit down at some point. Have you been seeing some of these concerts, some of the clips? Bobby Brown is like, look, I'm phoning this performance in. I got to sit down. And it's something. They beat themselves up. Yes, Orange is the New Black. I don't know when that came out. But let's see. You're talking about Tiger Woods. He's been dating Donald Jr.'s ex-wife, Vanessa. What? I did hear a Trump name. I didn't know which Trump it was. So it's a ex-daughter-in-law of President Trump has been dating Tiger Woods. So that explains why he said, I'm calling Trump or something. Didn't he call Trump when he got into this latest kerfuffle? Do you think there is something to that and his downfall? You know, I'm gonna think about that, Destiny Rose. I'm not really sure about that. Yeah, the memes have been very harsh. Oh my goodness. They've been doing things like have you seen him flying off of like a mountain or something? And they have Tiger Woods at the wheel and somebody else in the car. The memes are brutal, very brutal. My goodness. Okay, so here we are. We've got the whole thing with Rihanna. It's a lot going on with Rihanna in this current timeline that we're going to get to the current stuff. I don't want to jump ahead, but sometimes it's just interesting. Do you see her finger positioning there? That's when she was debuting that tattoo that said shh. You know how they do the shh. So yeah, don't tell. Don't ask and don't tell. So in terms of television shows, we have Modern Family. Modern Family kicked off. That was a funny show, wasn't it? And it had, you started seeing a lot of the LGBTQ being represented in a lot of television and movies. So listen, the LGBTQ was having their time. This was a great time. They were really elevating, okay, and being promoted. And it was really something, right? So we have Parks and Recreation. That was a funny show. Oh my God. You have, Quincy Jones's daughter. Remember? Yeah, Quincy Jones's daughter's in that. Funny show. Funny, funny, funny. And then we had Shark Tank. I was very fascinated by Shark Tank. So you have Damon Jean from FUBU, For Us, By Us. And look at that guy with the Masonic hand signal over there. But yeah, Shark Tank and Angry Birds. I saw the Angry Birds everywhere. Everywhere. Right? Did you get into the Angry Birds? It was a big thing. Yeah, so I forgot the plus. I'm sorry, the plus. I don't remember everything. It's so much to remember. But yeah, there you are. So I forgot the plus, you all. I'll get better with that. So we also have, this is the year where this creep, he was sentenced for the murder of his girlfriend. I told you guys this was really sad to me. I worked with her mother at Cedar Sinai. And this was just horrible, horrible. Phil Spector was sentenced to, I think, life for murdering his girlfriend, Alana. I think that was her name, Alana. But yeah, real sad, real sad. Her mom, like, it was horrible to watch somebody go through this. But he's a real creeper, isn't he? Wow. Stranger danger all over this guy. And other offerings that we have, Minecraft. Who got into Minecraft? It looks so it's a weird aesthetic. I don't know. I just never connected with this, but I know people really loved it. So we have Minecraft, and we also have Marvel being bought by Disney. So you can see all the Marvel mixed in with the Disney. It's just too much. And you can see how it became so woke. It's so unwatchable now, right? Nobody likes what they've done with the franchises. And then we had Avatar, the first Avatar. That was a very good movie. And I didn't decode it at the time like I should have, but it was a lot to decode with Avatar. Did you all like that movie, Avatar? Also, this is the global recession. I want you to take a look at all of these nation states, I'll say, that went through this global recession. You have Thailand, South Africa. You have Switzerland. They're supposed to have a lot of money over there, right? But yeah, they went through a recession. Brazil, Chile, Venezuela, Greece. We know about all the instability with Greece. Bulgaria, Cyprus, Macedonia, also the Netherlands. Those are just to name a few. If I've missed any, let me know. But that's a lot of nation states to go through a global recession. But we know this is a reset, many, many resets. And the whole mortgage thing, horrible how they play with mortgage. And this was fascinating. There was Carl Jung, his book, The Red Book, was, I guess, re-released. And I'd never heard of this, but they brought it out of the vault. And this is they say the most influential unpublished work in the history of psychology. That gives me pause because we had a lot going on in this. He's very influential, his work. So from vault to print, Digital Fusion delivered a world-class fine art capture and a pre-press of this legendary work. And here is a quote from the Red Book of, Carl Jung. You, man, should not seek the feminine in women, but seek and recognize it in yourself as you possess it from the beginning. So there you are, the Red Book. Has anybody read the Red Book? Read the Red Book? And I love the aviation technology. So we have the launch of the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Yes. What do you think about that? Have you ever flown on a 787 Boeing? Let me know. But this is when they launched that particular edition. And now put your tinfoil hats on, okay? Are you ready? Let me let you know this was very, very fascinating, along with so much. Now, okay, listen up and read along with me. This right here, look at the picture, the lithographic picture. This here is a Polish nobleman and military commander called Casimir Pulaski. So the years of the life of this Polish nobleman would be 1745 to 1779. So President Obama signed a congressional resolution conferring honorary U.S. citizenship to Revolutionary War hero Casimir Pulaski. Now it gets interesting right here. The intersex mystery. And now, don't you see a lot of dots, a lot of connections with the Obama years, like I said, and the whole thing about gender and sex? So we have the intersex mystery. Recent forensic and DNA analysis of the remains that were exhumed from the monument in Savannah. I remember seeing that name, Pulaski. We have Pulaski things in Philly as well. So the monument and the remains were in Savannah, Georgia, suggesting that Pulaski may have been intersex. What in the world? Intersex. Is that something? Okay, so while he lived and identified as a man throughout his life, researchers found the skeleton possessed characteristically female pelvic and facial features. A discovery detail in 2019. The Smithsonian Channel documentary, The General Was Female. Oh boy. All right, so Casimir Pulaski, this Polish nobleman and military commander, celebrated as the father of American cavalry. I think they just play in our face, you guys, for his pivotal role in the American Revolutionary War. After fighting for Polish independence, he was recruited by Benjamin Franklin. There you go, the Philly John Benjamin Franklin. And famously saved George Washington. I take issue with that narrative. Saved George Washington's life during the Battle of Brandywine. Philly is all through this history by leading a daring counterattack. He was later mortally wounded by grape shot while leading a cavalry charge at the Siege of Savannah in 1779. So here we are. Why would Obama sign a congressional resolution to confer honorary U.S. citizenship for this Revolutionary War hero who may have been a chick? What the heck, y'all? I'm just saying, it's a lot of weird connections with this Obama administration. And I'm just saying, I don't care who it offends, because he did a lot for the LGBTQ. He did nothing for Black people. And I see the thumbprint everywhere now. Okay, let me calm down. All right. Now we have the end of our retrospective, and there you have it, folks. 2009, the year we traded our subprime mortgages for subprime digital lives. We didn't fix the foundation, we just painted the house neon and started live streaming the cracks. Stay tuned, because the 2010s are about to get real weird real fast. So that would be part of the retrospective. Of course, we can't do it all in one sitting, but we can try to. Now, let me tell you about some of the music that was big in this year. We have Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas, Poker Face by Lady Gaga. I would play some of these things, but I can't do it here. You know, we were playing this over on Roku when we were, partnering up with Marlon. I have to check and see how Marlon's doing right now. So we have Poker Face by Lady Gaga. I don't think you guys would want to listen to some of this music anyway, would you? So we also have, what else? What else was big? We have, Just Dance. She was dominating the chart. So you have Poker Face, Just Dance, and if you know about the sort of double entendre, poke her face, right? Yeah. There you are. I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. They were dominating. You have Love Story. Taylor Swift was getting her, she was rising. And Flo Rida, Right Round. Oh, I'll turn you right. Oh, he did that cover of Right Round like a record, baby. Right round, right round. I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Single Ladies, put a ring on it. Put a ring. Oh my God. Weren't you over that? Oh, goodness. Yeah. So we had all of that. Beyonce, Put a Ring on It. And Heartless by Kanye West. Gives You Hell, All American Rejects. You Belong With Me, Taylor Swift. Dead and Gone, T.I. and Justin Timberlake. You Found Me, The Fray. Use Somebody, Kings of Leon. Knock You Down, Carrie Hilson. I think they knocked her down because they really blackballed her. So she was doing this with Kanye West and Neo. Blame It on the Alcohol, Jamie Foxx and T-Pain. I Know You Want Me by Pitbull. Live Your Life, T.I., Rihanna. Kiss Me Through the Phone, Soulja Boy, Tell 'Em and Sammy. Down, Jay Sean and Lil Wayne. The Climb, Miley Cyrus. Best I Ever Had, Drake. My Life Would Suck Without You, Kelly Clarkson. Halo by Beyonce. Hot and Cold, Katy Perry, who is now being sued by Ruby Rose. Have you heard about Katy Perry? What a creeper. And she was at Coachella with her boyfriend, Castro's alleged son, right? Justin Trudeau. Do we have any of our Canadian friends in the Chatmosphere today? But yeah, Justin Trudeau is hanging out at Coachella with his girlfriend, the astronaut Katy Perry, who is getting in some trouble right now. So Hot and Cold by Katy Perry and Circus by Britney Spears. Perfect title. We have Night and Day by Kid Cudi. Oh boy. Party in the USA, Miley Cyrus. Run This Town, Jay-Z featuring Rihanna and Kanye West when they all got along and weren't powing up their houses and sending people out. What? Allegedly. Okay, Let It Rock. I love this song by Kevin Rudolph and Lil Wayne. Let It Rock, Let It Rock. Remember, that was a good one. And then we have What You Say by Jason Derulo. Love Game, Lady Gaga. Waking Up in Vegas, Katy Perry. Birthday Sex, Jeremiah. Sober, Pink. Womanizer, Britney Spears. And let's see, Whatever You Like, T.I. Obsessed, Mariah Carey. Mad, Neo. Love Lockdown, Kanye West. Hotel Room Service, Pitbull. Crack a Bottle, Eminem, Dr. Dre, and 50 Cent. If I Were a Boy, Beyonce. That's an odd thing. If I Were a Boy. Okay. Turning Me On, Carrie Hilson and Lil Wayne. I Hate This Part, Pussycat Dolls. Gotta Be Somebody, Nickelback. Paparazzi, Lady Gaga. Viva La Vida, Coldplay. Right Now, Na Na Na, Akon. Battlefield, Jordan Sparks. Sugar, Flo Rida. Miss Independent, Neo. New Divide, Linkin Park. Empire State of Mind, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. She-Wolf, Shakira. Breakup, Mario, Gucci Mane, before he was cloned, allegedly. And Sweet Dreams, Beyonce. Look how many times these people are on this list. Every Girl, Young Money. Let's see. Oh boy, it's a lot going on here. How many more do we have? Taylor Swift, White Horse. If You Seek Amy, Britney Spears. Turn My Swag On, Soulja Boy, Tell 'Em. Diva, Beyonce. Brad Paisley, Then. Rob Thomas, Her Diamonds. 3, Britney Spears. Forever, Drake and Kanye West, Lil Wayne and Eminem. One Time, Jason Bieber. That was an interesting Coachella set by Jason Bieber. What do you think? I mean, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, you know, he brought his laptop and he was playing his old YouTube stuff. And he was also doing, like, showing funny memes from the time. And he was, you know, singing his big hits from his YouTube days. So that was interesting. Green Light by John Legend and Andre 3000. Whatever It Is, Zach Brown Band. People Are Crazy, Billy Currington. Let's see. Goodbye, Christina DeBarge. Interesting. I didn't know Christina DeBarge did any music. Pop Champagne, Jim Jones, Ron Browns, and Jules Santana. Pretty Wings by Maxwell. I know that was a big thing. So that was just some of the music then, right? So, yeah. Did you like any of this music from 2009? What did you think? Because according to the narrative, they were giving us recession pop, you know, something to take our mind off of all of the horror that was happening. Did I go through all of the... Oh, you know what? I forgot something in here. The release of the sisters. Remember Lisa Ling and her sister? I forgot to mention that. President Clinton went over and negotiated the release of the sisters, the Ling sisters. They were over in North Korea. They somehow crossed over the line and got themselves in a kerfuffle, and Clinton went over and got them released. The Statue of Liberty, they opened up the Crown area. And remember the plane that landed on the, was it the Hudson? Yeah, remember that big plane crash? But they landed safely in the Hudson. Let me get the right details there. But that was amazing. The pilot, what amazing pilot skills. I have a good friend that was teaching me maybe 1 or 2 lessons. I was trying to get my licensure for flying, but one of my good friends who was my aviation instructor, he's a really good aviator, I have to tell you. One of those that could save the day. All right, so let's see, the plane, yeah, it was the Hudson. Do you remember this, Karen? All right, so it was a plane crash. No, that wasn't it. No. The one that landed on the, not the one, it was landed on the water. Do you all remember this one? Landed in the water. So what was this one? It's a shame you have to look and say, what was this one? Oh, yeah, this is when Sully Sullenberger. Yeah, you got it, Molly. Molly knows her stuff. You are good with your memory, Molly. You are our archives. Okay, so this was the Miracle on the Hudson. Sully Sullenberger. This was U.S. Airways Flight 1549 made an emergency water landing in the Hudson River, and all 155 people on board survived. So yay to Sully Sullenberger. You want a nice old pilot like that. You don't want these. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. I like when I see old pilots with white hair, and yeah, they're old military guys, right? They are the best. Hero pilot. Yes, Kathy Sky Song. Oh, the movie was played. Oh, Tom Hanks. Yeah, that's a name that didn't age well, did it? Okay, so this is it for the rewind. I want to thank you for joining. I'm going to be getting back together we're going to do more of these type of broadcasts. So stay tuned. If you haven't rang the bell or do the things so you could keep up. But I tried to let you know in a few different ways when I'm doing the live streams, but I'd love to see you come back. And please leave comments if you have any feedback, suggestions, but be nice. I love to hear from you. I love to read all the things that you share. And I guess they didn't cut me off on Instagram. Let me see if I can see the people over on Instagram. Hello, Instagram people. I'm sorry I can't see anything when it comes to your comments. I have to figure out how to do that, but we will figure it out. They didn't cut me off yet on Instagram. But anyway, I will see you all real soon. Love you. And if, like I said, if you want to support, this is listener supported. Everything you do is always appreciated. I want to thank all of you for all of the great support that you have given. And yes, thank you so much. Karen, love you, sister. Well, I will talk to you all real soon. Take care.